What's up, YouTube? It's your boy Dermy Wormy. I'm coming at you with a new video, and in this video, we're talking Blue Beetle. Now, I saw the Blue Beetle movie. I'm debating doing a review. Honestly, I don't think I will because I was mainly just bored throughout it all. My gripes and complaints about it are it's highly divisive, filled with just uber stereotypes, and several people have pointed this out when it comes to like the stereotyping of said movie. It was done by another Latin individual. So, Angelo Soto, I believe is his name. I could be getting his name wrong, but I do remember the Angelo, maybe Angel, depends on how you want to pronounce it. I remember when he started promoting this movie saying it's about Latinos, it's super important, using identity politics constantly. And then in several interviews since beginning the promoting, he kept talking about how there's going to be all these representation things. Let's get some of the latest versions of some of the stuff he was talking about, promoting in this movie. Angelo Manuel Soto doubles down on promoting Blue Beetle with identity politics, questions if it was possible to have a Latino superhero on a Times Square billboard. You could always have a Latino superhero on a Times Square billboard. I know several people questions about this, but I'm pretty sure the Mask of Zorro was on a Times Square billboard. Now, people will probably push back, say, well, he's not a superhero. I kind of view Zorro as a superhero at one point in time. He was very accomplished. He was very amazing. He was very influential to many people growing up. I'd say Zorro is a superhero by trade. Then you have, Kyle Rayner. Kyle Rayner never got a movie, but he's one of the most popular. And he's one of the most popular Green Lanterns out there. People love Kyle Rayner. He's a Latino. I'm sure we could have done that, but nobody wants to just sit down and talk about like Latino stuff in this movie. No, all I wanted was a fun movie. You could do concepts and ideas and some stereotypes from the Blue Beetle, being a Latino in the movie. Latinos are very family oriented. Spanish individual are very family oriented. You could have done that. They tried to do it, but they did it in such a way that still seemed just so, for lack of a better term, bigoted. Like, one of the things with Blue Beetle is he is family oriented. Jaime loves his family. It's very important to him, but he has problems because the Beetle wants to kill everything. Even his family. He doesn't know the difference between friend or foe. Oh, but what else do we have? Blue Beetle director said film had to get theatrical debut because film features Latino superhero, Latino family, and highlights Latino culture differently. Yeah, it highlights it in some of the most bigoted ways possible. You have people outright messing up Jaime's name and calling him Jamie after he corrects them multiple times. The main villain lady, Cassidy Cord, I can't remember her name, Cord's mom, sister. She is just awful to every Latino person out there. They do all sorts of like Latino things like anchor babies, because that's what Jaime and his sister are. They're just anchor babies because the majority of his family are illegal. Oh my God, you have an ICE raid on their household. You have all sorts of just stereotype after stereotype after stereotype that becomes kind of awful, especially when the guy who made it is Latino. What else do we have? Blue Beetle director confirms film includes themes of displacement, colonialism, and gentrification. Yes, it does. Quite literally does. It has themes of all of that, and it's disturbing. Again, why are you, a Latino individual, showing all the negative stereotypes of your community? Why aren't you showing the positive stereotypes? Why aren't you showing the positive aspects? Heck, I might despise Rachel Zegler, and I might not have been able to understand the majority of the West Side Story that who was he recently? Spielberg made, because they didn't believe they should put captions in for the speaking and translate it for you, but it still shows a more positive outlook on Latino cultures. Frickin' Orange is the New Black, a show about women in prison, shows a more positive outlook on Latin culture. This movie here about Blue Beetle shows nothing but negative stereotypes. You have some positive stereotypes. You got the matriarch, you got the family matriarch, and you got the family patriarch. The father tries his hardest to keep the family together, make sure that they're well taken care of and can have a good life. You got, grandma's grandma. She only speaks Spanish and she seems fun and loving. You got some good aspects in this movie. You got some stereotypical superhero stuff as well, They don't really demean Jaime that much. He gets the girl in the end. Like, there's some good parts, but it's just bogged down with all this nonsense and garbage. And me, as a guy who loves Jaime Reyes, I actually do think Jaime Reyes is a good character. I think he will work, and he can work, and he has worked in the past. I'm not shocked, though, that it only had a $43 million opening weekend. Now, preview night was $3 million. Okay? On about Thursday night, and I think combining Thursday and Friday together, it was about $3 million. Saturday came into about $10 million. I could be getting those numbers wrong. Let me take a peek real quick. Let's go over to the box office side. Yeah, so it started off with $3 million, then it went to $10 million, $18 million over yesterday night, and then today it's sitting at about $25 million that it brought in. Not $25 million domestically is what it's made so far. Domestically. Internationally, it's sitting at about $18 million, so $43 million overall worldwide. Not great, to be honest. Especially its domestic box office. Like, this is utter dog trash, especially when you compare it to Shazam. Shazam opening weekend was $30 million domestically. Let's take a look at the Flash. Flash, $55 million domestically opening weekend. This has gone down. I have steadily said, and I have steadily kept this point when it came to Blue Beetle. Blue Beetle is kind of like the Guardians of the Galaxy. You cannot introduce Jaime Reyes Blue Beetle right now in a DC universe that doesn't really exist. This movie wasn't gonna do well. The only way for this movie to do well is for your brand to be relatively healthy, being off of massive hit after massive hit after massive hit. Then you introduce a C-list, maybe D-list character. I'll argue he's C-list because I do really like Jaime Reyes. A lot of kids nowadays, Zoomers, know who Jaime Reyes is because of Batman Brave and the Bold, Young Justice, and then the DC animated universe from like the New 52 run where he was part of the Teen Titans. People know who Jaime Reyes is. Heck, he was in Injustice 2. Nobody just looks at him and sees Latino kid. They see a unique character that honestly looks kind of like Iron Boy, Spider-Man with an Iron Man suit. But I've always kind of argued that he's kind of like a Batman Beyond, but not as Batman-y. If you kind of catch my drift. You kind of figure out what I'm saying. But when it comes to the movie, all I'm seeing is forced jokes, uber stereotypes to an extreme degree that are kind of disgusting. And on top of that, you have it's just so cookie cutter. Cookie cutter has to be the easiest thing because it's every superhero movie ever made. Your villain, oh my God, he's just a stronger version of you. Oh, he wants to get an ability that you have so he can unlock all of his powers to be stronger than you. Oh, look, this villain is just an evil version of the guy who created everything. Okay, every stereotypical superhero movie, like an origin story or whatever, Iron Man versus Ironmonger, Black Panther versus Killmonger, Ant-Man versus Yellow Jacket. It's the same thing here. I don't have any unique stories. I don't have any unique aspects. I don't have the Jaime struggling to control the Scarab. No, Jaime struggles for one moment. That's actually a good moment when he's struggling not to kill the big bad guy. Minor spoilers. When he's struggling not to do that because the Scarab wants to do it because the Scarab doesn't know friend from foe and doesn't know how to pull things back. But then that whole struggle just disappears towards the end. No, Jaime completely controls it. Jaime knows how to do everything he needs to know because he had a talk with his dead dad in his dreams. I'm not shocked it's not doing well. Not at all. The discussions around this movie, you have some people that like it, you have some people that really hate it, then you got people like me who's like, I'm disappointed, I don't like it, but at the same time, it's mid. There's nothing good here. The only good parts are it doesn't hurt Jaime, you have a good dad, and Jaime gets the girl at the end. That's about the only good parts of this entire movie. And it's not shocking that you come over here, Barbie, when you look at the Barbie opening weekend, it did better. Why is that? Because when Barbie was being, commercialized, being put out there for commercials and everything like that, ads and everything like that, trying to be promoted, it was being promoted as being dumb fun. Now, the Barbie movie ain't really that, it has some fun parts, but it ain't really that good either. But they didn't outright come out and start shouting from the rooftops everywhere you went on every single freaking day that it's filled with propaganda and stuff. No, that stuff didn't start coming out until 2 weeks before the movie drops. No, for the most part, everybody was saying that it's dumb fun. And it is dumb fun, but filled with just vile man hate at the same time. Blue Beetle was constantly promoted with identity politics, being Latino. Batman is a fascist line. Some people are coming out here and saying, oh, that's not a bad line. You know how he says it? He has a reason for saying it and everything like that. Like he's a crazy Uncle Rudy or whatever it is. Guess what? The Batman is a fascist line really does nothing, and it only serves for him to further basically promote and just, I'm trying to think of my words without being too overly graphic. Bow down before the beauty of another character. He demeans Batman to promote somebody else that, Ted Kord, that, hey, in the past, still nobody knows who Blue Beetle is. No, he's not Batman. He's not a Superman. He's not a Wonder Woman. He's not a Green Lantern. He's not a Flash. Okay, nobody knows who Blue Beetle is. So when you demean Batman to be promoting Ted Kord Blue Beetle, that becomes kind of rude, and that is classic Styles right there. But when it came to Jaime Reyes, they didn't really demean him. They just made him a stupid kid. All in all, guys, it doesn't shock me that this movie isn't doing well. I want to know how well it'll do next week so we can get a better view of everything. Until then, though, guys, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Share it out with friends. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that notification bell for every time I put out a new video and go live, guys. And I'll see you all on the next one. Bye for now.